Have you watched the last 2 episodes of?
I don't think
It would be 2 episodes since last time we were here.
the last one I watched was the one where they are talking about the mithril.
They found it.
Yeah, they found it, and they were mining it, and then the cave in. I don't think I've watched.
Collapse.
I don't think I've watched the one that happened
So
this week.
there's one more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know.
It's getting super boring.
It's so boring.
It's so slow. I'm like, okay, maybe the next episode's gonna start to pick up, and it's not.
I think it's gonna pick up after this episode.
I'm hoping
Because
but I think
there's.
I was talking to Tanner about this, and it's like,
Is Tanner watching them?
no, he has. I asked if he started watching them, and he's like, I haven't gotten around to it yet, because he's like, I finished watching The Witcher. He thought that was really good.
He hasn't seen The Witcher?
Speaking of
that, season 3 of Witcher 3 is coming out in December.
He watched the first season a while ago, but then he finally got around to watching the second
that
season.
show's a banger.
Yeah, that one's good. But he really liked that one. So I asked, like, oh, did you watch the Lord of the Rings? He goes, not yet. And we were talking, like, it's. I told him it's slow.
It's good.
I like it.
Slow.
It's slow. But we came up with the thought of, how the Lord of the Rings movies, they're like 3 hours long. It was like a lot of that set up too.
Well,
so
the director's cut is almost 4 hours.
Yeah. So I think it's like, yeah, they're setting up, they're having a lot of time to set up, but something does have to happen here soon. That's 4 or 5 hours. That's nothing's happened.
Next episode, there's going to be a lot.
I got really fucking pissed off. Do you know the one, like, conservative guy that
oh my God, are you talking about fucking Ben Shapiro?
Not Ben Shapiro.
Did you see Ben Shapiro's going through and doing reviews on the episodes?
Well, because the other guy, he did the whole documentary on the, like, what is a woman, like, question. I forget what.
Oh yeah. I know.
I saw a TikTok of him reviewing the part where Galadriel threw all the strong men soldiers into the jail, and he's like, yeah, so this is the woke culture that they're trying to protrude. It was like, yeah, woman power right here. I'm like, I did not
Jesus Christ. Can you just watch the show? It's
fantasy.
It blows my mind that because a woman did that, they get so angry about it.
Yeah, they're like, how was she able to just...
Okay, here's an idea. She's like the strongest fucking elf in all of Middle Earth. Ever.
Thousands of years of combat experience. Yeah. Like, come on. What is this?
To a couple guards who probably are
I've never seen the battlefield.
That have probably... Yeah, they've been in Numenor guards since the beginning of Numenor, and they haven't fought since that first fucking battle, which, may I add, was technically won by the elves. So... they're like super strong, like pretty much astral beings almost. Like,
yeah, I'm like, bro,
why
can
you gotta
just
look into it even like that though? It's just a fucking show. Just sit down and enjoy it.
Now here's the thing: if you watched a John Wick movie and you watch him kill 10 people with a pencil, he wouldn't flinch an eye. He'd be like,
no, you'd be like, all men could do that.
All men can do that.
That's a normal thing.
But he killed 10 men. Like, how come those other 10 men didn't have that?
All men could do that.
It's infuriating. It's like, bro,
it's just so it's cringy.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not watching it because of this. I'm like, then I don't want to hear your opinion about movies ever.
Your opinion doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's that in the why I brought up, I thought you were talking about Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro's doing the same thing. And he's acting as if he's like this huge Lord of the Rings fan. And I know he's not.
Mm-hmm.
And he might have read the books, but like he can't even pronounce the fucking characters' names. And he forgets about the characters' names, which automatically rules him out as somebody I think like knows what he's talking about. And that's fine. He can make things. But they're only talking about Lord of the Rings, Amazon's thing. Because it's Amazon, first of all. And they're like, huge supporters of like Amazon, and you get what I mean. Like the business, you know what I'm saying. So like Amazon, and Amazon's a huge topic. Amazon alone is a hot topic already. Like him, the owner of Amazon, Jeff Bezos is a hot topic. So they always bring him up. And then because there's a lot of people bitching about there being black elves or like a lot of female characters are portrayed as very strong characters in Rings of Power, which is probably a minor difference than what, like, if the movie was made years ago, right? But it really doesn't fucking matter. Just watch the fucking movie, and if you don't like it, then don't watch it.
Yeah, I think trying to watch a movie and be like, I'm not going to watch it because it's supporting this woke culture. It's like, well, here's the problem with it. If they don't, I'm not saying like they're trying to cater, which they kind of are, but like they're catering.
They are, but it's also like a new time. So like now it doesn't really matter. So what? Most of the actors and actresses or most of the main characters are actresses over actors. Like, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
There's still actors in it.
Mm-hmm. I think even like the whole, oh well, there was no black people in.
That's wrong.
It's like
that's not true.
Yeah, but who cares even? Just
I know.
It's just it's them portraying an interpretation of the Tolkien.
Those people who complain about it are outing themselves. Those are the same people who are like, well, I'm not a racist. It's just
it's just wrong.
Because they're going to this woke culture. I'm like, bro, woke culture really isn't that big of a deal if you just live your life normally. It really does not affect you that much.
I think what they've done is they've made the best decision on staying with the woke culture for the fact of this. If they went ahead and did the whole, okay, all white male cast and whatnot, right, to stay true to the lore,
sure,
but they're always going to change something about the show to keep it different from the books because,
well, they also don't own all the rights.
They also don't own all the rights and all that stuff. So either way, they're going to piss off the like diehard fans.
Yeah.
But now, if they also did that with all white people, you're going to have that woke culture get super pissed about it. They're going to be up in arms. Yeah. So now they're going to cater to the woke culture because no matter what, the diehard fans are still going to fucking hate the show. So
it's funny though, because they always use that aspect of like, well, that's not how it was years ago. That's not how he wrote it. That's not how it's written. That's not how it's this. That's not how it's that. And I'm like, who cares? Like, you're using that as a way to say like you're not racist or sexist. That's what it is. Like, by saying like, well, that's not how he wrote it. Yeah, but he didn't make the fucking show.
No.
He's not even alive. You know, like he's not here.
Yeah.
So
and a lot of this stuff, he's made the 4 books, and then he's got the Silmarillion, which I don't really quite understand. That's like a general.
He has tons of journals. He
has
like
the ideas and stuff
of ideas, the alphabets, the lore, his story beyond the books that he wrote and published. Yes, this world has been created by him entirely. Everything. But also, hobbits were written as brown-skinned people.
Mm-hmm. Or at least one of the families were.
Right.
I thought like the Brandyfoot or something.
They're in there.
Yeah.
And to say that there's like no... Because elves are supposed to be pure and all that, they think that like they have to be like light-skinned people. Who fucking cares, bro? You can't tell me that there's no dark-skinned elves. Come on. That's just retarded.
Who cares?
And then, it's the same thing with the fucking Little Mermaid.
Yeah,
the new Little Mermaid.
Oh, yeah.
It's the exact same thing. It's a bunch of grown men.
Who aren't going to watch it.
Yeah, who aren't watching it. Grown-ass white men who aren't going to watch it. Getting mad because they casted a black woman as Ariel.
Yeah, they just want to see the trailer.
They're
as
like,
a white woman, and then for them to just go, that's right. That's how it should be.
And
then they're not going to watch
Ariel's white in the cartoon. It's a fucking cartoon.
Yeah, there's no
It's not even a real character.
Yeah.
If she was a real mermaid, she'd have fucking scales and gills and what the fuck, dude?
The fish vagina.
There's a black mermaid in the original cartoon.
Yeah, I can't believe like how stubborn we've become.
Fucking stupid. And it's I think it's ruining Lord of the Rings of Power because you have people who just follow reviews and they don't want to watch it because they're like, oh, well, they changed a bunch of shit. And they're seeing these bad reviews of like all that stuff. I will say, it's boring.
Yeah.
It's boring.
I agree.
But I still get really excited to watch it. And I love it because I love seeing Galadriel and what she did prior, what they think she did prior to the movies. I love seeing Lord Elrond as a young elf through his politics.
I love
to
seeing
get to where he got.
I think
the dwarves, man.
I think Elrond and Durin's story is probably
It's
my
so
favorite.
good.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
love
good.
that. Anything with the dwarves, I'm like, I am in. I
Yeah.
love seeing this. I think this was one of the things in Lord of the Rings we've been kind of kept in the dark about as far as the films.
Yeah, and you see this like growing racial hate between the elves and the dwarves when they find the mithril in the next episode. And then like you'll see Elrond and Doran, or Elrond, struggle with the fact that he's an elf, so he's got to stay true to the elven race, but his best friend is a dwarf, so he's like stretched between these decisions. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then Galadriel, like going through everything. I will say, I think Galadriel's a little bit of a whiner, a little bit of like a hothead, and I don't know if that's just like her character now, which is kind of cringy and annoying, but like I don't care that she's like a warrior.
Yeah.
And she fights people, and she's good at fighting, and she threw a couple guards in the fucking cell. What the fuck?
Yeah, like,
well, they're not gonna. They probably didn't like what she did in the next episode because she ends up fighting like
wait, hold
6
on.
or 7 people
they
at
were
the same time.
they were complaining that she threw 4 guards into a cell, but where was the complaining when she alone, pretty much alone, killed that frost troll with like a couple slices of her sword?
Well, the frost troll's not a male. It's not
Oh,
a
how do you
white
know it?
male. It's just
I don't know that troll.
Well,
did
the
seem
troll
kinda,
could have been a boy. I mean, like,
Yeah, but
it's not a human. If that was a human male,
then she'd stand no chance.
and he would just decimate her because he's a
He's
boy.
he's
And
a male.
boys are stronger than all girls.
It's scientifically proven. Yes.
Girls are not allowed to be stronger
but
than men.
aren't trolls depicted to be stronger than men, or is that just fairy tale as well? That fantasy?
It's hard to tell. It's hard they didn't complain about it, so I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't bring up their facts, their side of the story.
It's mind blowing. As a whole, the show's good. It's very slow, but like you guys were saying, the very first Lord of the Rings, Fellowship. All right, so Fellowship of the Ring, that's the first one.
Yes.
The movie, there's no action in that movie till when Boromir just gets absolutely decimated by arrows, like till the end, really. I mean, there's a little bit. You have some of the riders and Aragorn fighting the Nazgul and stuff, but there's no like.
Yeah, it's a lot of setup for their
climaxed
journey.
fucking battle scene. So like that whole movie, which is almost 4 hours if you watch the director's cut, there's like, the Shire portion of the movie, which is the best part of the movie, may I add, is like 45 minutes almost in the director's cut. That's like a whole episode of Ring of Power. So, maybe if it doesn't pick up in the next episode, I'm going to be pissed. Because in the last episode that you haven't seen, there's a lot of scenes where you're like, oh, it's happening. Here we go. Battle. Cut to a different fucking part. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell?
I need for it to be a Lord of the Rings, I need to see a large scale battle.
Fuck, Game of Thrones, House of Dragons has already had massive battles in it, and we're only fucking an episode ahead.
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm
awesome
talking about.
battles, like almost to Battle of the Bastards. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That first like battle on the beach was so fucking cool in House of Dragons. So I'll be real with you. I'm more excited to watch House of Dragons right now than I am Lord of the Rings, and that sucks for me.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Because I wanted that to be the greatest thing ever.
I feel real sorry for you.
Yeah. You're not even watching House of Dragons.
No, I'm trying to convince my dad to get HBO so we can watch it together. Because we used to, when Game of Thrones came out, I would drive over to his house and we would watch it together.
You need to get it because of House of Dragons being as good as it's doing right now. They've already signed for the prequel to all of Game of Thrones called 10,000 Ships, and a sequel to Game of Thrones starring Jon Snow.
Nice.
Yeah. So what happens with everything after everybody takes their thrones and stuff in Game of Thrones? And it's already like it's happening.
Cool.
So
Cool.
you probably want to get it. I'm a little afraid they're gonna ring it out though, like they're doing Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, but it's also kind of I like it.
Hey, are you seeing this?
Yeah. Wow.
What is it?
I don't know. It looks pretty cool.
I almost want to touch it.
I don't know. Maybe we should.